Hello everyone, you are watching Square Triangle Mouse, and today I'm going to show you how to deal with barbarians in St. Meier's Civilization 6. So I'm going to create a map on daily difficulty, of course, and we are going to try to get as many barbarians as possible. So we are going to do a standard size map for 8 players, but we are only going to have 6 players. That way we'll get a lot of empty land, so we are going to also change the map to Pangea, because that way we'll get more barbarians in the land. You know, later on, if you have a map with islands, you will eventually find barbarians there with boats and so on, but at that point you will be more developed, so it's usually easier to deal with them. And now I'm going to pick a leader that doesn't have any advantages. I think Wilhelmina, yeah, she doesn't have any advantages in the early game. So that's my main goal here. I just want someone who doesn't get any bonuses against barbarians. And so with this setup, I will start several maps. I will try to get as many barbarians as possible. We are not going to turn on any special modes. This will modify the strategy. Of course, with barbarian clans on, it's easier because if some barbarians are very isolated, of course they will start spawning a lot of units, but eventually they will just become a city-state, so the problem will solve itself. And if you have barbarians closer, maybe you can bribe them, so there are more options here. Without the barbarian clans, you only have one way of dealing with barbarians, and that is fighting them. Daily difficulty, of course, as hard as possible. And now let's play the map and let's deal with as many barbarians as we can. I will explain you all about it right now. Well, we generated our first map here, and you can see that the starting position isn't great, but it's very defensible. Here in the floodplains we will have to deal with floods, so I will actually waste a couple of turns to go to the plains hills. Okay, so we ended up moving a lot of turns. It's already turn 5 and we still don't have a city, which is far from ideal on Didi. But all of these floodplains were very, very bad for us to settle. Here we have desert, here we have tundra. So I really prefer to waste a few turns rather than having a very, very bad city that will cripple me the entire game. Here we were also surrounded by too many mountains, so I decided to waste one more turn and come all the way here. You can see that the yields here have changed because there was indeed already the first flooding in these lands, so it was a good idea we didn't have our city right there. On daily difficulty I usually start with a slinger every time, because even if you don't have barbarians, maybe you have a very close enemy, so it's a good idea to have a good unit early on. I very much prefer starting with a slinger rather than starting with a scout. So we keep exploring. We try to keep our warrior more or less close to the city, at least until we have a second military unit. And we met a city-state, so we know it's very unlikely that we have trouble with barbarians coming from the east, with the mountains and the city-state. Those are the tiles where barbarians can spawn. Right here, for example, or here, this turn we know for sure that barbarians cannot spawn, because this warrior is doing what we call fog busting. He's removing the fog from these tiles by looking at them, basically. And so barbarians cannot spawn in these tiles over here. That's another thing you should consider. And there you go. We met our first barbarian. As I was saying, he should appear very, very soon. It's already turned 11, so I was expecting him to appear. And now we don't want him coming to our city. If he touches his territory, we will see an exclamation. Sorry, if he touches my territory, we will see an exclamation sign on top of him, and that means he's going to come back to his outpost, and he's going to warn everybody that there is a city here, and then they will start spawning units like crazy. So we want to stop him from coming to Amsterdam, and if he gets to Amsterdam we want to stop him from going back to his outpost. Let's see if we can do that. We have a slinger here and another one coming up. Alright, he went somewhere else, so let's follow him. I want to... it's important to know where the barbarians are, okay? You don't want them spawning units without your knowledge. And speaking of knowing where the barbarians are, we found an outpost. It's right here in the desert. Warriors are good against spearmen, and also the desert doesn't provide with any defensive bonuses. So it's a good idea to just go with this guy and attack this outpost and destroy it immediately before they see Amsterdam, before they start spawning any units. This is an easy situation because the terrain is very good for me. Even if the game says major defeat, it doesn't matter. I still confirm the attack. I know I'm more wounded than he is. That's fine. I will heal, and the barbarians in this game never heal. So that's a huge advantage that you have over barbarians in Civilization 6. They will never ever heal their units, and you need to keep that in mind so you can always use it to your advantage. Also, we are just following this scout because I wasn't sure if this scout belonged here or not. There might be another outpost over there, so that's why I'm still following this guy. If I was sure that I'm destroying his outpost, that's fine, I don't care about him anymore. But right now I'm not sure, so I will keep an eye on him. And I got mining because we had a lot of forest here and stuff to mine. We are going to need irrigation soon, so I guess pottery is a good idea. I might want to know where horses are. Okay, let's go with animal husbandry too, because also animal husbandry leads to archery, so you can upgrade your slingers into archers very early if you follow this path. So it's a good path to follow when you're going for early wars, or if you're just having trouble with surviving the early game. That is just the, let's say, the safest path in the game. Now I could go scout because I know I'm in a Pangea map, so I guess I will do it now. It's about time we get a scout. Sometimes you can get a free scout from villagers. Okay, we got a village here, but we didn't find any villages until turn 16, so I'm building a scout manually. That's another reason, by the way, to not start with a scout. Sometimes you can get one for free if you're lucky. Oh, it's an honor to meet you. Okay, so we know Pachacuti with the Inca is in the west. So we have a sea here, but our continent doesn't finish here. We have Pachacuti. He's kind of far, so all of this area could keep spawning barbarians for quite some time. Now our guy has healed quite a lot, so I will keep attacking. And here I want to confirm that there is nothing dangerous to the southeast, just in case. It looks like Pachacuti has killed the barbarian scout. Oh no, it's right here. So we seem to be confirming that this scout came from this outpost. That's again something you always want to check. You never want to be surprised by a second outpost where you weren't expecting it or something like that. We don't have animal husbandry yet, so these guys could even have horses, although it would be rare in the desert. But it's good to know if the barbarians have horses, because if they do, they could be spawning mounted units, and that's harder to deal with. So another thing that you have to keep in mind when you are dealing with these guys. And by the time we get to our first policies, we can put more combat strength when fighting barbarians, and that will make our life a lot easier in this particular situation. This guy will continue to heal. They have a slinger now, of course, they're trying to defend themselves. That makes perfect sense. But we're not going to be scared by that. We are going to keep sending our units in that general direction, and eventually we are going to destroy the outpost. Okay, this guy decided to attack my warrior. That was a huge mistake because now I have a promotion. So I'm going to use it to be better at defending against ranged attacks. That way this slinger will not be able to do much damage, and my own slinger is coming to join the party. And we are blocking this scout from coming into my land. And this guy will maybe join the party. I don't know if he will get there in time, but just in case, we are going to send him back. I'm now realizing that because I'm so focused on the barbarians, I forgot to send a delegation here. So let's try to not forget in this particular case. Okay, that was good. And we know that we have the Romans, to the southeast. So I still think this northern area western and northern areas are going to be the ones spawning barbarians. Now we don't want to see more barbarians spawning from here, so we will take this opportunity to destroy the outpost. The moment you destroy it, it will stop spawning units, so you want to make sure to take the chances whenever you get them, to make all of this fighting against barbarians a lot faster. Here I will keep blocking this guy. I could send this scout to explore, but for now I want to get rid of all of these pesky barbarian scouts before they try to, I don't know, pillage my land or, you know, block my settler. Anything could happen with them, so it's better to just eliminate them. You can see here he attacked me through the river. That is a relevant penalty for him, and that's why he died so quickly. And here we can just finish dealing with the slinger, and that's it. We easily dealt with the first outpost, but we can already see we have another outpost right here. The game is telling us about it. Try to not miss these notifications, they are important. Well, we see now that one scout from this outpost has actually reached my border here, and so we have a notification here about it. That's important. When you see the exclamation mark on top of them, that means they are going to go back and spawn some units. Now I couldn't move my units here to block the scout quickly enough, so he's probably going to achieve his goal and we are going to have to deal with more units. Let's see how that goes. First we are going to confirm that the barbarians are coming by moving our warrior to a terrain where I can take a look at this guy. Luckily for us, this city-state is actually helping. And so thanks to the help of this warrior, we might be able to block the scout. If we can do it, we will absolutely go for that. I'm healing my slinger here as well. Okay, let's try to stop the scout. Okay, good. And we really don't need anything else. With 2 slingers and our initial warrior plus a scout, it's more than enough really to stop any barbarians coming our way. So we can start thinking about expansion at this point. The worst part is probably over. And that's it. With this final attack, the second outpost is destroyed. My warrior will have plenty of time to heal, and this scout is coming from an area that already has another city. So from now on, if I wanted to make sure that no more barbarians spawn, I could just send my warrior, let's say, over here in one of these hills, so he can see all of the land around him. And with that he will fog bash this area, and I will guarantee that I will have no more barbarians next to my early cities. Now this was kind of an easy one, but we made it easy by not letting the scouts spawn more units. We can see here that the scout actually dodged my slinger because I was occupied killing the spearmen. And he actually got the exclamation mark, which means he saw me. But if I can destroy the spearmen and get here in the next turn, it should not be a problem. So, oh no, that didn't work. He has a little bit of health. So this might end up being a problem. Let's see what happens. Luckily for me, in the south, these troops are doing a great job. So probably they will be available. Yeah, there you go. We destroy the camp, we get some money. We boost bronze working and military tradition. That's another advantage of killing barbarians. And these 2 guys are available now to go up north and help the city against these barbarians, assuming they actually spawn units. As a matter of fact, I think that even if I kill the spearmen, I'm going to let the outpost live until this guy comes back, so we can see how many units they spawn. I'm going to get out of archery now, because I want to build 1 more slinger before getting archery, and then I will upgrade all 3 of them with my gold. So let's do something else. Maybe pottery, because in this game, if I was playing it all the way, I would want irrigation fairly soon. It looks like the scout has reached the outpost, so they should be spawning units anytime now. And as I said, the next turn they already spawned a warrior. Now the warrior is stronger than the spearman against my slinger, so I should be careful with that. But I can safely kill this scout. Another thing that will usually happen is that some neighbor or some city-state will be more or less close every now and then. They didn't help with this outpost, that one was isolated, but here they should be of some help with this guy in the middle. And I think I will bring the slinger back to eventually upgrade him to an archer, so I can face the warriors that this outpost will be spawning. I can deal with barbarians while I expand to a second city. That should never be much of a problem. Well, I decided to move this slinger into the hills just to see the progression of the barbarians. That was probably a mistake because now I have two warriors right next to him. Even with the defensive bonus of the hills, he could die this turn. Let's see what happens. Maybe this guy goes up, so that could save me, but otherwise I will probably lose the slinger, which is a shame. In a normal game, again, if you're having trouble with barbarians, you will just continue to move the slinger towards your city to finish archery and then upgrade him. You have enough money to upgrade 3 slingers, so it should be the safest option. Let's see what happens with the non-safe option. Okay, I survived the 2 attacks. That was quite lucky, actually. So this guy will run away now, but you see they're already spawning more units. If you let the scout go back, they will spawn a lot of units. That's why it's important to not let the scout go back. And I will try to bait them into attacking me here. This is hills with goods. That's a lot of modifiers, 6. And also they will have to cross the river, which is another modifier for me. So always take a look at the terrain to make the most out of it, if possible. Let's see if the bait works. Okay, it didn't work right now. So these guys are going to come back. We don't want to be attacked. If he attacks my city from this tile, he has to cross the river, so that would also be good. Let's see if any of these traps actually work. This guy could receive 3 attacks, but with all of those modifiers he will survive, I think. Especially because he's promoted, so he has more strength against melee units. And also we already have the extra strength against barbarians. That was also a reason why this slinger managed to survive 2 attacks. Not only because of the heals.
No man ever wetted.
So the trap worked. One of the warriors is already dead. This guy is very wounded, more wounded than my warrior. However, they are already spawning archers. I thought they would maybe still have slingers, but that was not the case. Still though, we should have our own archers very soon, so we shouldn't panic in this situation. Especially because, as you can see, this guy is already dead, so it's only 1 archer and this wounded dude. We're going to heal here. Maybe the archer attacks the city, maybe he attacks the warrior. Either way, it's fine, because this warrior cannot really kill me with so many modifiers against him. You can see how using the terrain, all of this, you see the warrior had to cross the river, so he lost all of the movement here. And here they lost a lot of health. So using the terrain to your advantage, very important, especially in the early game. Archery next turn, slinger next turn. I don't know how that will work, so just in case we'll wait 1 more turn. I don't want any nasty surprises.
Every nation lives by.
Alright then. We'll put this guy back here. This fella can continue healing, and now we can definitely get archery. So now they have 2 archers, and so the modifiers doesn't apply to range units. We are going to run away with the warrior just to save him, but you can see the other warrior died because he attacked me crossing the river, and I had a bunch of modifiers in my favor in this terrain. That's how you play with the terrain. And now I will tell you that having 3 archers eventually and 1 warrior is going to be enough to deal with everything these barbarians throw at me, because they don't have the horses close enough. If they had horses close enough, I would try to finish maybe bronze working, try to get a spearman or something like that, or even another archer could be enough. But right now I don't really need more units, so I will get a trader. Okay, the archers are attacking the city. That is good for me, because they can never really destroy it. And if they do, I don't care, because they don't have melee, they can take it. And even if they had melee and could take it, a thing that you should know is that barbarians will never take your capital. So you could be surrounded by melee barbarians and they will not take your capital city. So no problem. If you have a range unit inside the city, you can slowly but surely kill them all. And we can see here the barbarians have changed the strategy. They are not attacking my city anymore. They are attacking this guy here. So he will have to move. Here we can do this. Here I could attack the archer before upgrading. But I think I won't actually. I want to get those archer attacks. They are way stronger. Let's see what they do now. Okay, they're coming for my units instead of the city. That is actually smart by them. So I'm a little bit surprised there. Let's upgrade this guy. This guy will have to run away, I think. Oh, he cannot run away. Okay, I should have checked that before the upgrade, actually. He could have run away to this tile. Let's see. I will go back here. If I get attacked, this guy will die, but he's not promoted, so it's out of the three, the least valuable one. That being said, if they both attack the city, that would be great. Let's see what happens. Yep, they both attack the city. That was awesome. Now we can maybe kill one of them. Unfortunately, this guy will have to heal before doing anything. This guy will secure his life. But we can wait inside the city, as you can see. Even if they did one smart move, they are not going to make a bunch of them. And with our promoted archer inside the city, very safe, we can slowly but surely take them down. I'm going to heal inside my territory. That should be a little bit faster, because this guy has to heal a lot, actually. Okay, and the archer is gone. Let's do this and let's take a look. Okay, so with one scout coming back, they spawned 3 warriors and 2 archers in an equal number of turns, I think 5 turns or so. And that was it for a while. Okay, they will spawn a bunch of armies, but it's not going on forever. They should have more warriors. So over here, maybe some archers attacking Mohenjo-Daro. We are not sure about that, but they should have more units. So we are not going to go all crazy over there. With this guy surviving, I don't need to build another archer. If he had died, I would be the 3rd archer right now. But in this particular context, we don't need it. So I'm going to go for a builder. As I expected, the other barbarians are going to Mohenjo-Daro. So if you have barbarians that can only go to your city, those ones should be a priority, the ones that can only attack you. But if they can attack also someone else, you can safely assume their forces will be split. You can see that there, and this guy will go towards the outpost. And that's it. That should be it for the barbarians in this game. We let them spawn 5 units. They included archers there very early, but we were ready for them. Remember, just put 1 archer inside of your city, make use of the terrain, and that should be enough. In this map we started with a more difficult situation. A barbarian found us very early. It's only turn 6. And we don't know where his outpost is, and he already found us. We're only building our very first unit. So this could be problematic. Let's see how we do it. This warrior will have to go east and try to find the outpost. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we found them, and we can see that they have horses. So they found us and they have horses. This is probably the most difficult situation you can find with barbarians in Civilization 6. When they are very close, they find you very early on, so you don't have time to stop the scout, and they have horses. So, you know, some stronger units there when you don't still have spearmen or anything like that. So we'll have to be very cautious in order to survive this. We cannot do early expansion, we will be building units for a while to survive their harassment. Let's see how that goes. I will move using the terrain, trying to get some defensive bonus against these horsemen that will have enough movement to attack me on this turn. And this archer doesn't really need to explore anything else. He will be close to home because we are going to go straight into archery. The good thing is that our first technology in the game was animal husbandry. So again, if you are having a lot of trouble with barbarians, you can always start with animal husbandry. This is also good if you are having trouble with the AI doing early rushes against you, because animal husbandry will take you to archery early on. That way you can get archers faster and survive anything. Now finally we can get more strength against barbarians. That will be very, very helpful in this map. And if I move correctly, this guy shouldn't be able to attack me, so we're going to go here. I prefer to lose the forest bonus and have only one barbarian attacking me. Let's go into archery. We're going to be behind the city. Let's remember that barbarians do not take your capital. This guy might die actually, but if he does, maybe the slinger can finish the horseman in this style. We'll see what happens with that. Let's actually move him closer just in case we can use that little bit of strategy there. Alright, not right now apparently. Okay, we'll go in to save the slinger. Or maybe we want to save the warrior. Let's see what happens with that. I'm probably not going to save the warrior, to be honest with you, but we might want to try. Let's see, the warrior can come here. Okay, it looks like I am going to save the warrior. That's interesting. And if we kill this unit with a slinger, then we can boost archery. That would be super, super nice. But I think it's not going to happen. I think he will commit... Oh, I was going to say that he was going to commit suicide against my city, but he didn't. So that was great for us, because now we can kill him and boost archery. Great stuff, really great stuff. Another horseman is already coming. We are going to be very, very defensive. We go behind the city and let them lose health against our city. This is, if they're not behind us, they cannot surround us. And even if they could, if we lost all of the health inside the city, it doesn't matter. They will never, ever take it. That is something that you should always remember. If you have one archer inside the city, the archer can slowly kill them all. Okay, we're just waiting for them. As I said, we are playing a very, very defensive strategy here. And we attack only when it's very safe. Okay, they are moving around, which is a smart thing to do. Kind of want to kill this guy if possible. But I think this fella needs to promote in order to heal. Okay, let's wait. Alright. So we might need to move a little bit. Let them surround the city a little bit more. Let this guy lose some health. We want to kill the archers first, ideally. They are a much bigger hassle than the melee units. Okay, so I'll do this. Okay, and this guy is almost dead. This guy is almost dead, so really this guy is the only problem we have right now. You will continue healing, and I will go for another archer, because warriors against horses, not very useful, and we cannot build spearmen right now, so this guy is not going to be a slinger, he's almost certainly going to be an archer. And we can see here that whenever you have someone else, you are remotely close, they can be of some help at least. Okay, this here is very risky, so I'm going to go back into the city. This guy is trying to run away. I think I'm going to let him, because let's remember barbarians do not heal, so letting him run away is not a problem really. Okay, let's go on with this. Just wait for this guy to move to a better spot. If he attacks me here, he has to cross the river, so that's good for me. I'm going to not promote right now because maybe I use the promotion to heal. Okay, great. There was a unit by Antananarivo there and it is distracting these guys. So I'm going to use that little bit of time to get a couple of archers. And then we can just breathe basically, because we don't have any more problems in this game now that we have archers. The moment you get archers, really everything should be easier against barbarians. If you're having trouble against barbarians with archers, you really should check how you're moving them. You're probably being too aggressive. It's a better idea to just wait for them to come to you. Think of your archers against barbarians as some sort of tower defense game in which you play mostly defense, right? Okay, looks like they went for Antananarivo. Maybe there were a couple of units there. You can see that I'm not using the 2 movement points of the archers. I'm just using 1. I don't want to do anything risky. And we are going to go for the outpost the moment we make sure that there is nothing there. Alright then, for in trade, that's fine. Maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of craftsmanship, I don't know. It doesn't matter, I'm not going to play the full game. Okay, that last movement was safe because it was very close to another city. And we can see here there is only a scout. That's not dangerous for an archer. We need 60 more gold to upgrade this guy. Until I upgrade him, I'm not going to move him. I don't want to play against horses with a slinger in their territory. That's not a good idea. Anyway, it's time for expansion already. It looks like we already dealt with the most difficult part. Another horse archer here, sure, but we will deal with him soon enough. I will let that scout go to Antananarivo. I do not care about him. I don't need to chase him. We are not going to go for anything that is not very important for us. We are going to be very, very selfish. If someone else can handle the problem, then let them do the dirty work.
Who deserves more credit?
Sometimes you can even lure barbarians to go into your enemy cities, but without the barbarian clans mode activated, that's actually not so easy to do. Anyway, I'm just doing normal research while I deal with the last part of this. I moved into this territory because I knew the horse archer was here, so I didn't want to go here and make things even easier for him. I want to see if they have more horsemen. Usually they start spawning a lot of horse archers, which for defense is a problem because they will not suicide against your city, but for offense can be a little bit better because they don't do so much damage. So when you have to move offensively, it's a little bit safer. And also they are not so efficient against your warrior, your very first unit, let's say. I'm going to do this, so they are even less efficient against a warrior with the promotion that makes him more resistant to range attacks. And we can see here one of the horse archers has actually not been killed by Antananarivo, so I will move the slinger and deal with this little bit of health that he has. And here is just maybe just cleaning up. It doesn't look like they're spawning more than that. They always spawn a big wave first and then they kind of stop for a while. And if you let them bring another scout, then the second scout will spawn a second wave and so on. But you should really, I mean, one scout can run away because sometimes, as you saw in this map, sometimes you cannot stop the first scout. But you should really never let a second scout go back and spawn a second wave of barbarians. So that's it, we destroyed these guys. You see they had a lot of horses right next to them. And this is actually going to be a good spot for my second city, with so many horses and other resources. If you have any more questions about Barbarians or any part of Civilization 6 that you are struggling with, feel free to let them in the comments below, and I will be happy to make other strategy guides for very specific topics. So, thank you very much. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, thank you very much for watching.